If I was starting a senior referral business today, what are the three things that I would do? I'm going to tell you right now in this video. Let's get to it. The reason I decided to do this video is a lot of people have reached out to me and says, Matt, come on, if you were starting your business today in 2021, during COVID, all these restrictions, what would you do to do your business? I mean, I have an academy. I teach students across the country. It's 21 modules, and I won't bore you with it. You can check out Senior Home Business down below and check out a 4.5-minute video about the academy. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and all that good stuff too, if you would. Follow me on this channel because I produce content in this industry. We got the only referral academy in the country, and I want you to know about it. But what would I do? Number one, I would sit down and thoroughly understand the process. I have a lot of people that are coming to me that are from various different backgrounds. Could be a stay-at-home mom, construction, teacher, whomever, and they come to me, and sometimes they don't know the process. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. That was me. That was me when I first got in this industry years ago. I didn't know anything about the process. I didn't know the lingo. I didn't know anything. So if that is you, the first thing you need to do is thoroughly understand the process. You need to get educated, hence the Senior Referral Academy. That's what I've got. I would encourage you to get into that academy. Check it out. Text me, see my number on the screen. Give me a shout. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But you got to understand this, because what's going to happen is this is just not like any other business where you just generate leads and now you have someone you're going to help. Now, how are you going to help them? Which community is best for them? What programs are available in your state? What other resources can you come up with to help your client? There's a lot of things we do differently from a local standpoint. There's national companies that just get a lead. Now, they're lead generators. They just get a lead and they disseminate that lead to about 25, 30 different communities around that area. And then all these communities just call the client, poor client. They get telemarketer after telemarketer after telemarketer. We have the best pool, the best caregiver, the best food, all that stuff. I don't do any of that. So you need to understand the process. If you are, that means you have to walk the client through something they've never been through before. So they don't understand it. And if you don't understand it, how are you going to guide them? You need to guide them. If you're going to become an advisor, I'm a senior living specialist. That's what I call myself. But you can call myself an advisor. Whatever you want to call me in this industry is fine. But I help people through this process. In order to do that, you need to know the process. The second thing I would do is study this business. You need to know this business inside and out. Let's take a look at an article I want to show you now. It's back in 2019, but it's still applicable today. Okay, this article is put out by Forbes, How to Start Your Own Business in Elder Care, How to Become a Senior Living Referral Agency. It says right there. Now, it goes through baby boomers turn 65 every day. And, there's a huge opportunity in this industry. I mean, right now, I did a video a few days ago, probably a couple weeks ago now, where back in 1950, I believe it was like, 7 or 8% of our population was 65 or older. And just last year, we're up to like 16.5%, I believe it was. And then in 2050, we're going to be like 21, 22% seniors, 65 and older. Basically, every 1 out of 5 people will be seniors. It's an incredible opportunity. But I want to go through this article that Forbes put out in 2019 because it talks about getting into this industry. And the first thing it says is buy a franchise. All right. I had an opportunity to buy a franchise. I could have done that 3 years ago. I decided to have my own agency. And the reason I did was a lot of different reasons. I didn't want to throw in $50,000 on the table and pay a monthly fee to have a franchise when I could have put that money back in my own business. I could do that. I could put that money into marketing, buy computers and printer and, whatever, buy some stuff for your business. So I didn't want to buy a franchise and be locked into a certain zip code and those kind of things. But goes on, it talks about if you're going to build it from the ground up. Now, here's a couple of things that I wanted to point out in this article. I think it's applicable to what we're talking about today and starting our business during COVID or today. Number one, it goes on, it talks about, here's some advantages you'll have, starting your own referral agency from the ground up, is you'll have a flexible schedule. That is true. Now, I have a flexible schedule. I can wake up when I want to, even though this morning I was up at 2 a.m. I could eat when I want. I don't have lunch hour. I don't have assigned breaks. I don't, have to do certain things at a certain time. I do it whatever I want to do during the day. That's one of the benefits of having a flexible schedule and owning this business. However, I don't want to just gloss over that, because having a flexible schedule, sometimes people interpret that being, well, hey, I just kind of come and go as I please. Hey, look at me today. I got a polo shirt and I got some shorts on, but I'm still working. I'm up at 2:00 in the morning today, not every day, but last week it was 2 or 3 days. I was up at 2 or 2:30 in the morning. I work extremely hard. I want you to do that as well. And so I don't want to mislead you and say, yeah, flexible schedule, because sometimes that means get up at 10, quit work at 2, drink in the evening, play around, do whatever you want to do. And that's not what I mean in that. But that's a good point. You want a flexible schedule, go to your kids' ball games. So if you're a stay-home mom, or you got another profession that you just want to get out of, you're just tired of doing it, or it's run its course, right? We've all probably been there where we've been in that company, in that business, where it's like, okay, I've done this X number of years and it's time for me to do something else. The second thing it talks about is low overhead. I mean, that's awesome. Again, no franchise fees, no monthly fees. There's low overhead. There's a printer. I got some paper. I got a phone right here. Of course, I got my cell phone, calculator, microphone, computers. There's a few things you're going to need to be successful in this business. But when I started my business, we had 2 laptops, one for my wife, one for myself. We both had cell phones. We still do, obviously. We've upgraded them in the last 3 years. I'm trying to think what else. We didn't have any of this stuff right here. We had no business phone. Everything was just funneled through our cell phone. It was, we had business cards, but they weren't as nice as the ones I've got right now. These are like plastic credit card, business cards. We had kind of the cheap version. I wish I had kept one. I don't know where it's at. I've probably ran it somewhere, but it's a black and ugly blue. It just did not look good at all. But low overhead. That's the nice thing about this. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money, getting involved in this. Now, if you're going to buy a franchise, you're going to spend a lot of money. You jump into the academy, again, going back to the educational piece, you've got to know the process. That's going to be a fee. That's a one-time fee. Now, and the third advantage it talks about is having control of your marketing efforts. I kind of get where they're going there. I mean, that is true. If you're working for a franchise, maybe they have a certain way of marketing. In my own business, there's certain strategies and tactics that I use. I teach these in the academy, exactly what has made us successful, and I want you to be successful too. But I can control my own marketing efforts. I think of brochures, for instance. A lot of the businesses in this area, the other referral agents, have brochures. It seems like they all have them. You go to skilled nursing facilities, they're all collecting dust and they're not being, read, and they're just kind of just there, right? I don't know. I have never owned a brochure in this business. And I upgrade my business cards, things like that. I do things on my website and videos and things that I believe would be a lot more productive than a brochure. But you can control your marketing efforts. Decide to go big or go small. I think that's a great point. However, and because I know someone in the industry, she's just real part-time. She just does 2 move-ins a month and that's it. She doesn't really have any aspirations to do anything else other than the 2. I want to go all in and go big, right? I'm not small at all. We've done more business here in the Fresno, Clovis, California area in the last 2 years than any local agency. And we're also in the process of expanding to Vegas. If you've seen my previous videos, you've heard me mention Vegas. That starts next year. January, we'll be doing business there. We're moving there between March and June of next year, 2022. We're getting billboards. We're the only agency in this area starting October. I believe it's the 20th. I met with the designer the other day. We're putting billboards all over this place and for people to call us. So we decided to go big, and I want you to go big too. So then create a list of professionals. You need to understand how to have a network. And that's the third thing I want to talk to you about. And that's exactly what I would do. The third thing I would do if I started my business today is have a really great network of people in this industry. And if I didn't know anyone, I would press through and call people, email, text, send smoke bombs, whatever I got to do to get in touch with people to say, hey, I'm considering being a part of this business. I know the process now. I've studied the industry. I know the business now. And now I need to know people that are in the industry, because people can put you in contact with others. And I'm telling you, I learned this from Bradley. Bradley, if you're out there, listen up closely. This came from you, but money does not grow on trees. It grows in other people's pockets. Woo, baby. It grows in other people's pockets. So if it's going to grow in other people's pockets, your network has got to be big. You've got to understand that. Now, it doesn't mean your social media network has got to be big necessarily, because mine's not. I've got about 15,000 people who follow me on LinkedIn, and then it just kind of breaks it down on Instagram and Facebook that nowhere near as big. It seems like I can't grow it, but I still get leads. I still pump out videos and different things like that. So that's the 3 things that I would do if you're going to start this business now during COVID. Those are the 3 things you've got to do. Now, if you want to know more about the industry, click on the link below, seniorhomebusiness.com.